Quiet power, big shifts. How placing women at the centre of wealth conversations is redefining agency and reshaping what and who gets funded. Women are reshaping and redefining philanthropy. Projections suggest that over the next 40 years, women will inherit around 70% of the estimated $41 trillion that will pass between generations. The most important thing we can do is unleash the full power of half the people on the planet, women. We know that women need the tools of development, but development needs women.
So really, it's absolutely essential if we want to see the system change and the global change in the world, that those voices are allowed, to be heard and to be sort of verified and given power can actually help to elevate those voices and also give women the confidence they need to say, you know what, actually, I'm going to go to that family office meeting. I'm going to put my name forward for that board committee. I'm going to have my say in who should be running the family office. And actually, I would like to run the foundation.
The future of philanthropy is female. Between 2018 and 2023, global financial wealth rose by 43%, while wealth controlled by women rose by 51%. Women now control 1/3 of all US household financial assets, roughly $10 trillion, and 40% of the world's wealth. Research shows they also now influence 85% of a family's philanthropy-related decisions.
So I would say to a young female philanthropist, do your homework, get out and about, see people talking, and then see if there is someone that you sort of resonate with, to see if you couldn't just ask them if they wouldn't mind every now and again to jump on a Zoom call or to meet up when they were in town if they're from another country, so that you have someone that you can ask the stupid questions to. Those sensitive things that sort of happen within families. That's so important.
I'm one of 3 girls, and my dad was one of 3 boys. And he also has sisters, but the boys always looked after the family business and therefore the charity. But because dad had 3 girls, I was kind of raised like a boy. I always knew in the back of my mind it would be my journey.
When women lead with heart, what shifts in the world around them?
There's a big problem in our country. Our prisons are full. The government are looking for solutions that can be replicated and scaled. So over the past couple of decades, what I've been looking to do is to combine my expertise and my philanthropy in order to design a solution to one of those problems. That happens to be about women in the criminal justice system and their children. And I put my philanthropic money and my expertise into designing a project called Hope Street. And Hope Street is a community alternative for women and their children so that they can serve their community sentence in the community safely. And it means that no longer will they have to be sent to prison for their own safety, in inverted commas. Because at the moment in our country, under the Mental Health Act, women get sent to prison for their own safety, not because the crime that they have committed actually warrants a prison sentence. And of course, if the mother is usually the primary carer, and they usually are in our country with that demographic of person, then what happens to the children when the mother goes to prison? They go into the care system. So this whole catastrophe can be avoided if the places in the community exist where a woman can be sentenced to do her community sentence, she can be with her children, and therefore we crack a problem in our society. It's sort of reliant on the fact that what I'd like to do, because it's 100% philanthropically funded at the minute, I need to prove the concept, and then I need to be able to say to the government, look, I've redesigned one part of your justice system. It would be great if you could now support this and make it sustainable and adopt it back into the system.
Philanthropy that listens. Women funders instinctively centre lived experience, both their own and the communities they serve. And when women give, the direction of entire communities can shift.
I think we're trying to just improve on something that's already been established and that is already working, but it's also just bringing a fresh eye to things. It's like anything, it has to evolve. I think for me specifically, I use my background as a journalist and specifically as a fashion journalist to kind of help engage a new generation, a new audience, kind of creating stories. And we talk about storytelling all the time in media. And it's also really important in philanthropy because, when you're giving money, yes, giving money is easy, but also knowing kind of, what that money is used for and how it's used, I think is really important.
With the recent events around the world, even over the last few years, we're now in such a new framework where, the future is, we're all really co-creating that together more than ever. So I think the time for philanthropists to really step up, next gen as well, is really important.
Resilience through crises. 2 decades of research on gender and giving show a clear pattern. Women's philanthropy holds steady through economic shocks and social upheaval. Even during COVID and major social movements, women continued to sustain their communities with unwavering support.
But in the end of the day, it's really about you. And it's not about your gender, it's about what you bring to the table. We always talk about, somebody can open the door for you, but you have to keep it open. So that applies to whether you're a girl or a boy. So in the end of the day, I think one thing that my father has always taught me is that never try less than your best. So as long as you're doing your best, I don't see where gender comes in. It doesn't matter in the end of the day. You're just as capable as everybody else. And doing it with heart is really important. I think that's more important than anything else.
The next era of giving won't be shaped by wealth alone, but by the strength of our will. If true impact begins with intent, we should ask ourselves, how intentional are we prepared to be?